Today we're going to go over creating an initial certification application through the Backend CRM. We will start with creating the application on the contact record and end with sending the authorization to test to Prometric. The manual process for entering in scores and passing or failing an exam will be covered in a separate video. We will begin by navigating to the record for the contact that we would like to create the initial certification application for. In this instance, I already have the contact opened up. In the left navigation, we will scroll down to Initial Cert Apps. We will click on the node, and then we will click Add New Initial Certification Application. A new initial certification application will be created. This record currently has no name, no initial certification application type, no initial certification fee. We are required to enter in these fields. I'll click the lookup on the right of the initial certification application type to select the type. I will also click to the right of the initial certification fee on the lookup to select the fee. I will now click Save. As you can see, the name of my application is now populated. The naming convention is last name, first name, dash, initial certification application type. Next, we need to manually create the order and pay for it for our contact. If we were going to do this initial certification application through the portal, the order would automatically be created and paid upon completion of the initial certification application. However, since we are doing this through the backend, we need to manually create this order. So let's start by clicking on the contact in the initial certification application to open up the contacts record. The contacts record will open up in a new window or tab. In the left navigation, you're going to scroll down to Orders under the Sales module. As you can see, an order has been created on our contact record based on us selecting the initial certification fee. However, this order does not have any products associated with it. Therefore, we need to add new order products to this order. To do so, from the order, we will click on Add New Order Product after selecting the products in the node. A new order product window will open. In a lookup next to the existing product, we will search for our product by ID name. Once you have selected your product, click OK. Next to Unit, click on the lookup and select Primary Unit. Finally, for quantity, enter 1. Then click Save and Close in the upper left window. You may need to refresh your order product at this point in order for it to display correctly. Then, in the top left ribbon toolbar, click Order to get back to our default view of the order. At this point, you may need to refresh the order to see the effect of the product. At this point, click Save and Close. And then we should be back on our contact record. In the upper left toolbar, click Contact to navigate back to our default view of the contact record. In the ribbon toolbar, click Process Payment to bring up the payment wizard. Here we see our contact's open orders. Check the box next to the order to select it. We will then select a payment type and click Continue. For this instance, I will select Check and hit Continue. Your amount is already pre-filled with the amount of the order. Then you are required only to enter in a check number. I will enter a check date and a date received. I can also include a note called a memo in this payment. At this point, I will hit Continue. Now I am on my payment submission summary. Here I see the order that I'm going to pay for and then my payment details. At this point, I am ready to submit my payment. We now have our payment confirmation. I will click Close, and we should be back on our contact record. I'm going to navigate to Orders. And we see that we currently have no active orders. If I change the filter on the view to Fulfilled, we will see our order for the CDT initial certification application. At this point, we are going to navigate back to our initial certification application. From here, we need to be able to create our initial certification application requirements. We do this by clicking Run Workflow in the ribbon toolbar, selecting the Submit Workflow, and clicking OK. We will then click OK on the Confirm Application of Workflow Request. This workflow will create our 3 initial certification application requirements. To monitor the status of the workflow, you can click Workflows under Processes. As we can see, our workflow has succeeded. If we click on Initial Certification Application Requirements in the left navigation, we will see our 3 initial certification application requirements. The first certification application requirement, certification application fee paid, is marked completed. I would like to point out that this does not have anything to do with our actual order that we were just processed. When you submit an initial certification application and these requirements are created on the back end, the certification application fee paid is automatically set to completed. This is the reason that we manually process our order prior to submitting our initial certification application. Therefore, we do not forget to create the order for the initial certification application. Our next initial certification requirement is exam eligible. This is tied to the authorization to test that is going to be sent out to Prometric. And the last is the exam pass requirement. We will go over this in a separate video regarding what to do when receiving exam results. The last thing that we need to do for the initial certification application is send out the ATT. As I said previously, this is tied to this exam eligible requirement. We will select the exam eligible requirement, and in the top toolbar, in the ribbon toolbar, we will select the deactivate icon. I'm going to open up this window a little bit bigger so you can actually see what the icon looks like. When we click deactivate, we'll have a confirmation screen where we will click OK. Upon clicking OK, the exam eligible requirement will move to a status reason of completed, and our ATT will automatically be sent out to Prometric. If you have any more questions regarding this video, please write them in the Zendesk forum below. Thank you.